Hello, everyone. I am Shantae Bender. I pray you all are having an amazing day. I just wanted to share with you all my Bible verse from this day, and it is from the book of Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, verse 10. And I'm going to call it a bad question to ask. Okay. And you probably are all wondering, like, okay, what's a bad question to ask? I mean, there are a lot of questions that are bad to ask, but there's one particular question in the Bible that tells us it is unwise to even ask. It's unwise to even ask. I mean, basically, it's foolish, and it tells us to not ask it. Okay, and so that question is, why were the old days better than these? Why were the old days better than these? So that right there is a bad question to ask. Okay, and Solomon, the son of David, he tells us, he says, it is unwise for us to even ask. It's unwise for us to even ask this question. And so when I think and reflect on that particular verse, what it seemed like Solomon is telling us is like, hey, don't look back. Don't look back at the former things. Okay. Don't look to your past. Focus on the present. Okay. Focus on the present. Okay. And so just think about it. I mean, there are so many spouses right now that are probably looking at the earlier years of their marriage, and they're probably, like the earlier years were better. Okay. And then you have some parents who are looking, when their children were younger, and they're thinking that the children were better when they were younger, whereas now that they're older, it's not so great. Okay. And so not only that, I was thinking about a song by Gerald Levert, and you guys can look it up on YouTube. It was actually one of my faves, and it's called Good Old Days. And in that song, Gerald Levert, he's singing, he's talking about the good old days, and he's asking, can we get them back? And you're probably wondering, like, can we get what back? Gerald is asking, can we get the good old days back? And in the song, you can listen to it. He's mentioning like all these things that he used to do in the, back then. And so he's like, can we get them back? Because it's almost like these days aren't so good. Okay. But Solomon is telling us, hey, don't ask about the old days. Don't ask, can you get the old days back? Don't ask, why were the old days better than these? Okay, because he says it is unwise to ask this question. So that's why I titled this a bad question to ask, because it is. It is. And all of us, I'm sure we all have said it before, man, I miss those days. Those were the good old days, man. We all have said that. But again, like I say, Solomon is telling us, basically don't look back there. Okay. Don't ask that question. Okay. And so basically when you hear people ask that, or when you hear people saying that, it's foolish. It's a foolish thing to say. It's a foolish thing to ask. And not only that, it's no truth in it. Okay. And so like, just think even now with the pandemic that we have going on in our country, in our world today, and I'm sure just, a month ago, we were all going on about our daily day, going on about our business, doing any and everything that we please, and you're probably saying like, man, I wish we can go back to, the good old days. Those were the good old days. Whereas now it seems like it's not some good old days. Okay. But actually these are still some good days. These are still some good days. Okay. And so normally, when you think of the good old days, you're probably thinking of people that's probably going through tough situations in life. So a lot of times you will find that when you ask, or when you're thinking like that, you're probably going through a tough situation. And right now, this probably could be considered one of those tough situations. Okay. But let me tell you this. People are no better or worse than they were before. Okay. They are no better or worse than they were before. And situations are no better, no worse than they were before. Okay. There were still wicked people before. There are still wicked people now. Okay. I just want to share that. But what I want to tell you guys is God is the same. What I want to tell you guys is that God is the same now. God is the same as he was then. Okay. That's what I want to share with you guys. Okay. And I don't know if you guys, I want to leave this word of encouragement with you guys, especially for the Christians out there. Okay. For the Christians, the believers, our best days are ahead. Okay. Our best days are always ahead, okay? And so what I mean by that is that Jesus, he has promised to return and take us home, okay? He has, okay? So what better future could there be? Okay, so that's why, as for me, I thank God for my past blessings, okay? I do, but we don't want to waste the present with pessimism. Okay, we don't want to waste our present with pessimism. Okay, we want to stay optimistic because, like I said, our best days as believers, our best days as Christians are always ahead. Okay, they're always ahead. Okay, and not only that, we need to accept what God has for us today and look forward to what He will have for us tomorrow. Okay, and so I just want to leave that message with you all, and I hope and pray that it blesses you. And I also want to leave you guys with this. Okay, the end of a matter is always better than the beginning of a matter. The end of a matter is always better than the beginning of a matter. Okay, and so I just want to share that with you guys. So just remember what Solomon tells us in the book of Ecclesiastes in chapter 7, verse 10, and that is, don't ask why were the former days better than these. Don't ask that, okay? Because like Solomon said, it's unwise to ask that. It's unwise. It's a foolish thing to say. It's a foolish thing to ask, okay? And so let's all be optimistic about what's ahead. And that's my message. God bless you guys. I love you guys, but I promise you, God, He loves you all so much more. And that's it. Bye.